Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since we've made a video, and that's kind of for reasons that we're going to go into today. As you can tell, the burnout truck is jacked up and it's missing a crucial part to it. So let's get under it. Let's have a little talk about what's happened. All right, so as you can see here, there is no transmission. Now, the transmission was new. We had it rebuilt, and it was a 60. And basically, we went further than we did with the Cateye as far as building it. However, we still basically blew it up. Now, in defense, we did not plan to run it on the street like we have with nitrous. We thought we'd do some burnouts, we'd spray some nitrous in the burnout box, and that'd be about the end of it. Well, we have, for some reason, ended up making it a full-out street truck. And there are going to be a lot of videos coming soon once we get this right. But during testing, we've been taking it out and running it on the streets and in Mexico for weeks. And it took its toll on the wimpy little 4L60. So what happened was we lost third and fourth. And the trans was under warranty. And we took it to the guy that builds all my transmissions. Does amazing work. And, you know, we basically decided that if we're going to continue to do like this, the 4L60 is not going to handle this power. I mean, on spray, we're making anywhere in the 4 to 500s range, and there's just no way it's ever going to handle it. So if you guys are GM enthusiasts, you know what I'm about to say next. And yes, it's time to put a 4L80 in it. Let's go over some of the things that's going to happen to make this 4L80 happen. So one fight that I've had ever since I built the 60 on the Cateye was people saying, why didn't you just put an 80? That doesn't make any sense. Why didn't you just put an 80 in? I'm getting ready to tell you why you can't just put an 80 into a half-ton truck. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the 4L60 is what comes in your half-ton trucks. The 4L80 is what you get in your 3/4-ton trucks. So just to name off a list of things that are different: the flex plate, the torque converter, the cross member, the speed sensor, the shifter linkage. You gotta, like the actual where you plug it in for your shifter selector, that's gotta be changed. You've gotta repin your ECU because you gotta have the new pins for the 2 speed sensors and stuff like that. Obviously, it's gotta be tuned. You can't just throw one in there. You have to tune it. You gotta have a flex plate spacer. You have to have a new drive shaft. You can't put, because it's longer, you can't even use the half-ton drive shaft. So if you stuck with me there, as you can tell, you can't just buy an 80 and put it in a half-ton truck. And that has been my argument with people ever since I did that one. Is these people, and no offense to anybody, you don't even understand what it takes to do an 80. But I'm going to show it now, and we're finally going to do it. And I'm going to show you guys what it really takes to do an 80E. It's not just clean cut and simple. So one of the things I want to go over with you guys, this right here is your stock transmission cross member that you have in a half-ton truck. Throw it in the garbage. It won't even work because the 4L80 is longer. So what you got to do is you got to go buy yourself a retrofit cross member here. So bolt it in there, and that is so the longer transmission, the tail shaft where you got the stud, will bolt in there and you won't have any problems. So that's basically step one, is you can't even bolt it in there till you get yourself a different cross member. Now the next thing, and I don't have all the parts here, they're scattered everywhere at my house and on order and stuff like that. The next thing I said is the flex plate. So the flex plate on the back of the engine is different for a 6.0 bolted to a 4L80. So you gotta buy a flex plate. Well, the thing with that is you can't just buy it and bolt it up. You got to have a spacer to make the offset right for the starter and the transmission, so it all, the converter and everything goes in there the right way. So you got to have a flex plate and a spacer. Now the next thing is your torque converter from your 4L60, which we had a very nice yank converter here, 3000 stall. Throw it in the trash. That ain't going to work either. You got to have a different torque converter for a 4L80 because it's a totally different bolt and stuff like that. So that's the next thing you got to do. The next thing I mentioned was the speed sensors. On a 4L60, you have 1 speed sensor back at the tail shaft. You now have 2 in a 4L80. Nelson's Performance makes an adapter harness so you can adapt for the speed sensors. You got to run those to the ECU. You also got to have the harness adapters for the gear selector, which is on the side of the trans where your shifter linkage hooks up to. So hopefully you're still sticking with me because I'm not done. It gets even deeper than this. So to top it all off, as if it isn't hard enough already to do it, your drive shaft, that nice aluminum drive shaft that you have under your truck, you might as well throw it away too, because you can't use any of this either. The splines, not even close. The length, not even close. We didn't even want like that long. I mean, the whole thing is useless, so you might as well start over and find you a 3/4 ton drive shaft or have one made. So I haven't even got to that yet. That's like the last piece that I haven't found. But you can't even use the drive shaft, so you're gonna have to get you a 3/4 ton drive shaft. Now, once you do that, the next problem is if you get lucky and find you a 3/4 ton drive shaft, your yoke on your 10 bolt won't bolt up to it. You're gonna have to get you a different yoke off of a 14 bolt, if that'll even work, and then put that into your rear end so you can put the 3/4 ton drive shaft in there. So now, let's say you've got all the pieces together. You finally got that 4L80 in there that everybody said was so easy. Now you go to start it, you go to put it in gear, and it doesn't do anything. That's because the ECU or TCM, depending on what year your truck is, has to be tuned to work for a 4L80. So I'm not trying to come off sarcastic, but I mean, I'm excited that we're doing this. I really am, but I want to just finally explain, because I now understand everything it takes to do it. I always knew it wasn't easy. What it takes to do an 80. And people just have no idea, but that's all right. We're gonna showcase it on this channel. We're gonna film the whole process. And by the time this is done, we're gonna have a badass transmission that will handle any of the power we can throw to this 5.3, and it's not gonna be a single problem. But the sad thing is my wallet is gonna take a giant hit, because we gotta get an 80, which we've already got the 80 that's being built right now. But we've gotta get all these parts together to get it to work in the truck. So those of you who said just swap an 80 in it, here you go. We're just gonna swap an 80 in it, but you're actually gonna see what it takes to do it. So let me kind of explain what happened with the burnout truck and where we're at right now in its build stage. So now we're done with the rant of what it's gonna take to do an 80. So the burnout truck is mean. On spray, we've done the 100 shot, we've tried 150 shot, and it's wicked fast. We've been out on the street, we've done pulls, we've beaten cars that you guys aren't gonna believe, and we're gonna have it all run back once everything gets done and we make it through Cletus and Cars Bradenton, so that way it makes it to that event. We're gonna run these cars back over, and I'm telling you, the content is gonna be awesome. You're gonna be amazed by this truck's ability and how fast it really is. Plus, it doesn't even stop here. This will be another video, but there's even more Go Fast parts coming for it after Cletus and Cars. That's just gonna push it even further up above where it's at now. But what I wanna get at is, as what started as a pure burnout truck has ended up as our weekend fun street truck. And we've been taking it out to the local meets and then going to Mexico and running it. And it's been a blast. And I'm sorry that we haven't filmed it. Honestly, we should have filmed more of it, but with all the crazy COVID stuff going on, it's kind of hindered our ability to do filming and to make things happen. And I'm sure it has everybody. All YouTubers have faced some type of difficulty with it, as we have here on this channel. But the truck's been down for about 2 weeks now, and we're probably down for at least another week till we get the 80, everything in and ready to put the 80 in. So that's why there's been no videos, and that's where we're at on the burnout truck. But I do want to tell you guys, there is going to be at least 2 videos on swapping the 80E in here. I'm going to make sure and showcase everything you have to do it, and what it's going to take, where everything came from, how you do it. I want to make sure that we have a perfect, either a 2-part or 3-part series on swapping a 4L80, because sometimes some of the videos I see are very generic and very straight to the point analog. They don't really show you what it takes, but I want to be the person that shows you what it takes. And when it's all said and done, we'll have a great transmission hooked to a $600 engine, which is kind of funny to think about. We paid $400 for a truck and we've got for a $600 engine, and we're bolting up this awesome transmission to it. But if that's what it takes to hold the power, that's what it takes to hold the power. So a lot of talking this video, not a lot of action, but that's because, like I said, we got to get the trans built. But I just wanted to tell you guys what was going on, what was coming up, because it's been a while since we made a video. Burnout truck is down for the count, but that's all right. It'll be back up and going within a week, hopefully. So we'll start putting out after this weekend. Next week, we should have everything we need to get going. We're gonna start putting the trans in, and we'll be making the videos and popping those out next week for you guys on swapping it in there. My goal is by next weekend to either A, have it running completely, or B, at least have it in the hands of the transmission shop to do the tuning, so that way it can run. So 2 weeks, I promise, burnout truck will be back on the street and ready to rock and roll. And by that point, we're going to be really close to Cletus and Cars Bradenton, which is on May 30th. As long as it still happens with everything that's going on, I feel confident it will. And we'll be in Florida for that big event. So stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out the other videos on the channel. If you're not already, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. Can't wait to rip it. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Have a great day.